5 different streams rolling? Okay, fine. Well, if you want to, you can. I'll text it to you.
Okay.
Do I guess it's just I think it's just the link to join the stream. I still don't know how to do the paired channel thing. I'll figure that out later. We're on like 5 different. We're on the slow channels. I think we're on my Substack. It's good.
Jack, you're a celebrity. Twice today, I've had people be like, "Oh my God, Jack Rains, you work with Jack."
Wait. Who was
like in high school when my little brother? He's a couple years younger than me. I was a senior, he was a freshman, and people are like, "Oh my God, you're Brian's sister," and I'm like, "No. Brian is my brother."
Yeah, now it's like the corporate America version of that, where like you're senior to me in the slow hierarchy.
Rains? I'm like, yes, I do.
Well, I did the reverse of what VCs usually do, where like typically you have like an illustrious career as a venture capitalist, and then decide that you want to be a thought leader, and I just decided to do it the other way around on accident, which leads to interesting outcomes. Like you're 7 months into a VC career, but already have the 70,000 Twitter followers. It's fun. It's a decent, different strokes for different folks.
Brave new world.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do we have on the agenda for chat today?
Well, one, we're live on like 28 different channels now. All of Slow's properties, my properties, and potentially your properties if your LinkedIn is connected. We're going multi-channel, multi-medium. Yep. A few things. We have Zach Pogrob, who's joining the chat shortly to talk about his new app, which has taken over at least our corner of the internet, Aura. We're going to talk to Jonathan Katz-Moses, our first creator we've invested in out of the creator fund. Some interesting topics. I'm helping Yoni with this Attention is the New Economic Substrate dinner, and we sent out some prompts for people to fill out beforehand. So there's some very interesting conversation topics from that. And then breaking down direct to audience versus advertising revenue for creators.
Yes, cool.
Cool. Sick. I'm going to just text Zach the link real quick. Let's see. All right, he should be joining in a sec. He's got like a big he has this whole app like waitlist gated. He's done a very good job of like driving up all the like trying to get everybody on. So he's doing like I don't know if he's like letting people off the wait list, but he's doing some big thing at like 4. So
cool. We'll have to ask him about it. Great.
Yeah. Have you also been seeing on your like corner of Twitter all of his stuff? Just like
I was gonna say, I don't know if that's like my algorithm is more finely tuned to creator stuff, but he has done a great job of teasing it, promoting it, talking about building it, and then the promo video I clicked on this morning was genius. It was like, had Taylor Swift in the background and or the music in the background, and it's just great. And I think like I don't know if it was intentional or not, but like the camcorder thing now, it just all kind of, he did a great job.
Yep. He said he's hopping on. He was in the Google link. I need to make this the default link on the invite thing going forward. But yeah, I like how so for like anybody who doesn't know him, Zach is like, he built this massive following on Instagram around the idea of obsession, just like being obsessed with your craft. Here he is. Zach, welcome to the stream.
Let's go. Sorry, I was in the Google. I've been, one of those.
You're good, man. Are you wearing sleeves this time? I saw you were sleeveless with Jordy and John.
I've got the wife beater on underneath, but we're talking. This is an official environment, so
we're more official than TVPN.
Yeah, we are capital allocators. So.
Probably like 2% more official in terms of like the good vibes.
I had a football coach who wore the like hoodie with the sleeves cut off for a couple of years. So like we're in the weird narrow cameras, so I couldn't tell.
I should bring that back. Yeah, I should bring that back.
You should. Dude, well, how's the app launch been? It seems like you're crushing it. I keep seeing screenshots of Aura everywhere. So like are you psyched? Are you like overjoyed right now? How are you feeling?
Look, I haven't done anything yet, and like our app is still a small app, to say my little humble piece.
Yep.
Like the reality is, like, this is the best week of my fucking life.
Yep.
And I actually think I build something that is going to matter. After literally, I mean, you guys do a lot with creators, been in the content, hamster wheel, not even a hamster wheel, more like a hamster fucking maze. So
Yep.
I'm not going to drop the F-bomb too much.
No, you're allowed. You can do that
But
here. This is fine.
I've just been in the maze of trying to figure out the right thing. And I really, I've been working on the app for 7 months. It's the only thing I've been working on. And I met you guys and told you the idea like 5 months ago, maybe.
Yep.
And I mean, you can just go look at the Instagram for sure. Or like, I really think we built something that resonated.
What's the is it like a very how many people are very New York centered, like your crew growing from that versus being like all over the US or all over the world? Like, what's the distribution from what you've seen?
It's been far beyond that since like April. So we've had a beta from essentially March until we just launched on Monday.
Yeah.
And I'd say the first month it was like that, like New York friends, like the obsession, like kind of cult. But man, it's been far. I think we had 700 beta users before we launched, so not crazy. And now it's like there are huge influencers, huge people who do not follow me, have never heard of me, following the account, following share, or wanting to get on this app. This is why I was so bullish on the space. People are fucking hungry for a new type of running app. People love these things. They use them every day, and there's nothing different.
So what's your edge against Strava?
I built a totally different app. I built an app that is obsessively dominating the one user behavior that when a lot of people finish their runs and workouts, but especially runs, they go and they take a screenshot of their run and they post it to their Instagram stories, or they post it to Twitter, or they post it somewhere else. But especially that sequence, that is a sequence that I would guess many hundreds of millions of people are doing every single day. And there was no good way to do it. After I launched my beta, Strava shipped like one thing that is kind of a good way to do it. So they're like catching on. Every other running app shipped a similar thing versus us. But for them, it's just like this little feature on the one part of their experience. For us, that is the whole thing. That is it for now.
Yeah.
And I've been very open that I want to build a full running tracking app experience. But I don't think you build the next great running tracking app experience by launing with that. I think you
start narrow and then
and we just exactly.
Yeah. And it's interesting because Zach, like, I don't know, I've been following you for years now, and like you've always kind of toyed with the idea of like doing more than just content or media or whatever. And talk to us a little bit about like the process of landing on this one very specific idea. Did you have a bunch and then you narrowed it down to this, or was it just like this is the big thing?
No, like I was kind of talking about this yesterday. Towards the end of last year, I was doing more typical creator stuff, some partnerships, brand deals, book deal, some speaking, had like an agency off the back of me, but just nothing that I really cared about. And it got to the point where I just was like, none of this. I don't want to do any of this. And I was really waiting for a big idea. And I remember like in the start of this year, I was like, oh, I'm going to host like a race. I'm going to do it. It was like, but like, think about that versus what I'm doing now. It's like, I was just waiting. And then like, the truth is I did not plan it. I don't think I could have planned it. I almost did this TBPN PMF or Die startup show to build an app.
Yeah.
That got me thinking about apps. I made a tweet to find a co-founder that got like 700,000 views, found a crack developer, didn't have the idea, still didn't have the idea. And I have texts, which he recently tweeted. His name's Kale. And he tweeted the text where I was like, first idea was like a streaks app, like obsessing over something, like let's build a streaks app. And then my second idea was like, oh, you know what about like an Unfold for running? Like Unfold is this, it's been around a while. It was an app to make Instagram story templates before there was like a good way to do it. But I was basically it was the idea. It was like, everyone's always sharing screenshots of their runs. Like, let's build something just for that. And yeah, so that's the story.
How did you pick your co-founder out of the however many applications you got? Because that's got to be tough to like how do you identify technical talent to build something like this?
Yeah, I mean, technically I don't have a co-founder. Kale, I guess technically he's actually like the first developer is kind of phasing out of the project, and we brought on someone new about 2 months ago. But I guess he was still sort of like, he had that responsibility in the beginning, and he was just unbelievably cracked and ready to go. And like, you could just see when someone's obsessed right away by the way they respond to text, by the way they work. And yeah, the app wouldn't exist without him. And I owe him a lot. So yeah, it's just like, I don't know, like my new developer too, like he's unbelievable. And he literally messaged me last week. He's like, I am addicted to working on Aura. It's like, set the expectations super clear. Like there's a founder I really like, and he says when he brings on new hires, he's like, if I call you on your wedding on Saturday night, and we have something you need to fix that is going to lead to whatever $10 million in revenue, like, you're going to do it. I like that.
Do you see yourself like combining because you built this massive following on Obsession, right? But now Aura is your whole thing. Do you almost view them like, I guess, Aura kind of the manifestation of this Obsession theme that you were leaned into for so many years?
It's the ultimate example. People don't realize, I'm not trying to like gloat, but like I designed the entire app myself, like pretty much. We had one designer help with like a few of the elements. I've never designed an app in my life. It literally took like me having no life the last 7 months, learning how to use Figma. And like the app, I think the design like isn't that good. We need better designers now, but it's enough to build an app that is clearly resonating. And like my life goal is to like spread this idea of obsession. And I think me building a company is the ultimate example of that. So like I'm not really concerned about having that brand or anything right now. And it's funny because people always told me like, why are you not selling Obsession merch? Why are you not doing this and that? And I definitely could have, and I definitely could have made money. But I think the better thing to do, much harder, is like actually obsess over something, build a huge freaking company. And then like, think about it. When I'm tweeting now about hard work or like building something, it matters a lot more now because I'm starting to build something. So that's how I view it. And like, I'll do stuff with Obsession my whole life. I'm not even like thinking about it. It's never going to leave my bio, you know?
Yeah, dude. Well, awesome. Like, I'm glad you're crushing it. Yeah, dude. And like, thanks for coming on and chat about it. Are you going to be back in the Bay at all this fall?
I'm sure I'll be back at some time. I miss it often. Are you there right now, Jack?
No, I'm in Brooklyn right now, but I'm flying back on Sunday. So.
Okay. Yeah. Megan, are you there or?
Yeah, I'm in SF right now, but come hang when you're back.
I miss it. Yeah, I will. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Cool. See you, Zach.
Yeah.
Bye. Sick. Well, I'm glad we got him on. Jonathan is also queued up right now. Want to go and roll him in? Yep. All right. Back to
roll him in.
Jonathan, welcome to the show.
Oh my gosh, your title.
Let's go. Oh, that's insane.
That's amazing.
So good. That's just amazing. It's also entirely true. I mean, you just like dominated like TechCrunch, Forbes.
I think you like kind of broke our corner of the internet this week.
I think I did too. And honestly, I've been here for about 11 seconds and I was like, oh my God, can I edit my bio?
Yeah.
And then it let me. So I just want you to know that's possible. And I did it in lightning, like 300 words per minute.
Good. Incredible. Good. That's great work.
Yeah, I feel like I broke the internet too. My God. It's been a fun week. I'm exhausted, but I've gotten hundreds of messages from people from all ends of the world, including a guy I used to play baseball with 22 years ago who pitched me a business idea. Cold pitched me a business idea. I hadn't talked to him in 22 years. It's like, yeah.
Was it a good idea?
No, it was terrible.
So just for people, I don't even know who's watching, but for anyone who's watching, so Jonathan, amazing creator, entrepreneur. Well, we made the investment a couple months ago, I guess at this point. We announced
April.
April. I can't remember, but announced this week that he was the first investment out of our new creator fund. And so there was, press around it and lots of celebration and just it's been a fun week. And similarly, like there's so many people in my life that have been like, I've been following Jonathan for years. And I'm like, well, where were you when I told you what we were doing? And like, you should have offered him up. But
give me a lead here.
Yeah, totally. So, I mean, why don't we know the story? We can recount it. But I mean, why don't you tell people kind of what you do, who you are, and what you're working on?
Absolutely. One of the funniest things was I play in this poker group, and about two of the guys who want to be entrepreneurs emailed me because they saw the video or anything else. They were like, I saw you in Forbes, and they were so excited about that. So it's funny how many people saw me from different places. There was 15 15, 20 articles, something like that. But I'm Jonathan Katz-Moses. I am the CEO, or I like to say chief sawdust maker at Katz-Moses Tools, which is a really fun, cool company that focuses on woodworking tools for everybody from DIY to professional woodworkers. I'm a YouTuber. I've been an educator on YouTube for 10 years in the woodworking space. I really love it. I really love innovation. I have filed close to 10 patents now on woodworking tools. I've created over 150, many of which, over 2/3, are manufactured here in my shop in Santa Barbara, California.
Amazing. Amazing. And your story to how you became, got to YouTube, but then also entrepreneurship is remarkable.
Right. I saved a couple from potentially getting murdered or definitely assaulted by some gang members by my house, and paid very dearly with my health. They got me good. And I had my dog with me. I tied her to a fence, and all in all, I woke up and had this moment in my concussed state where I thought I was dead. I thought I was a ghost. And then when I looked up, everybody was so horrified by the appearance of me that I realized I had to be alive, because I was like, oh, they can see me. I'm not a ghost. And it was a life-changing moment that made me kind of stop doing things that were holding me back. I had 2 service-based companies at the time, which just were like grinding forever. I realized you couldn't scale those past how much labor output you could do. I was a bartender, which was keeping the lights on while I grew these other companies. And I just gave it all up and said, I want to make things, and I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. And I started woodworking, selling a few things, and then I invented this tool. And I was like, God, I feel like this is cool, but I think like normal people can't develop products. You got to be like, know somebody at Sony or something, right? And so I said, you know what? I got no more money. I'm out of this little kind of, there's no way I'm going to survive another month here without another maxed out credit card. So I bought a camera, posted a video on YouTube, and I started selling this little tool that I made myself. And it started paying the bills. And then after a while, I got to the point that was all I did. 40 hours a week was make this one tool. And I really wanted to post more YouTube videos. I'd posted a few, but just kind of all my time went into manufacturing. And I decided to try and start scaling and taking it serious. And here we are a decade later with 15 plus employees, another 5-6 fractional employees. Actually, as of this week, it's 25 employees, or 10 fractional employees, I should say. And we've grown. We're in a 33,000 square foot warehouse. We started in a 120 square foot shed with no power. And I'm really excited. I think as a company, we'd hit a glass ceiling, and that's when Slow came along. We'd toyed with investment in the past, but it really was a perfect timed event, because we just couldn't keep developing all the products we wanted to while keeping everything else we had developed in stock. And so it was like a perfect time for some growth, some inserting some growth capital into the business.
Yeah, and I mean, I was with you last weekend down in Santa Barbara, and like there is no lack of product ideas, right? It is like such a classic case of truly capital was like the limiting factor, and it was just pour gas on the fire. So we're very excited.
The half hour before this, I was meeting with my head product developer. We were going over the pipeline, and I was like, "Oh my! Like, we have too much pipeline now. How can I make all these videos? I still got to run this company."
Yeah,
and it's the best problem I've ever had. It's like a dream come true.
Yeah, amazing. I will also say, such a small world thing. So, I met a creator, or someone who's working with a creator, and their entire community is around. I meant to send this to you, around people who have near-death experiences. And the whole YouTube channel dedicated to it. And they probably have like, I don't know, maybe 400,000 subscribers, like not even at 1 million, but each of their videos get like 2, 3, 4, 5 million views. They're clearly like tapping into something. And they have a bunch of ideas where they want to take it. And so I'll bring you in for diligence when we.
I absolutely would love to talk with them.
So what? No, keep going.
Oh no, I was just gonna make a joke. You go ahead, Jack.
I was gonna say what comes next. Like or is it all top secret? Like what's the how much can you discuss? Okay.
I here's like my thing is there's two types of people in my space. There's old dinosaur companies, and there's people just trying to get started. And I think I'm at a place where I'm going to be first and best to market with anything innovative right now. And I'm excited about that. And, I actually just had a meeting with a guy who was a huge creator on YouTube. And he sort of not took a break from content, but he slowed down on content to build a container hotel in Joshua Tree. They just finished it. It's award winning. It's been in all the design and architecture magazines. He was an architect before he was a creator, and they just finished it. And they have like 1,000-acre property in Joshua Tree in this beautiful boutique container based hotel. They made all the furniture for it. He like managed the making of all the furniture for this hotel. And he said, I was like, hey, I want to get into live events. I think there's like a real opportunity here. He goes, no way. I have a hotel with 1,000 acres. Come out here. We won't even charge you. So we're in fall 2026 going to put together some sort of like maker Katz-Moses Burning Man type thing where it's going to be in the desert. We're going to have all these opportunities for people to drive tractors, do off-road courses, learn to weld, Jack, you got a big rig showing up?
Apparently, yeah. I don't know. I don't see it, but I heard it.
Yeah, it was funny. I was like, I think I hear that, but then your head snapped. I was like, it's at Jack's house. Mm-hmm. We're going to do like tons of like leather working, tons of, there'll be like classes, but and I think part of the goal is, there's a huge maker community that I'm tapped into, but there are a ton of creatives out of LA who are just a short drive from Joshua Tree who are really craving the ability to self-prototype. You got just millions of designers, millions of interior decorators, all these people that are designing things for very high-end clients, but they don't have the ability to rapid prototype. Every prototype 6 to 8 weeks out, and then you want to make any design changes, and suddenly you're a year before you ever see this little piece of furniture that you want to do. So they're trying to learn, but they don't know where to start. So I think we are, there's about 200,000 registered interior decorators and designers in LA. So I think that we can really hit a community that may not just be solely invested in content or creating content, who want to learn those kind of things. And then, we've got Weber as a pretty interested sponsor. They want to bring out all these barbecues, and it's like we can do grill your own steak night. People can go to the store and get their own food, or we can bring in a bunch of content cooking creators and be like, hey, you want chef so-and-so to cook your thing? And we do lots of crazy stuff, and we build a house or frame like a timber structure, and at the end of the event we burn it. We make a big bonfire. And
Katz-Moses Burning Man. You heard it here first.
Yep. I love the combo of like content, real life, put it all together. It's like, it's so much less performative and real. People love that stuff.
Right.
That's cool.
Well, it's funny. We've been doing the Texas Woodworking Festival. We've been the platinum sponsor the last 2 years. We have 5x attendance, and we've made it this like really fun hangout. And before that, there was Workbench Con, which all of the content creators went to for years. It was like 8 years running. And it was like for the first 4 years, it was just the best party you'd ever been to. Classes were great, all these things. And then I think the creator of it just said like, I'm not making a ton of money. I'd like to max out profits here. Like, let's cut down on what we're spending on teaching classes, because really everybody just wants to drink and hang out. So they're not really going to classes. Let's not invest there. And then it's like, all right, let's do these less expensive catered meals, but let's do every meal catered. And it just became one of those things. It's like, look, I could get a hotel room that weekend, and I know all my friends are going to show up, and I'm not getting any benefit from the event.
Yeah.
And so, as we talk about what's missing here, it's people want to learn. They want to go to these things and try something they've never tried. And these are all people that love making stuff. Yeah. They love it. But maybe they've never welded anything. Maybe they've never sewn a wallet. Maybe they've never crocheted a scarf. I don't know what you're into. But we want to do some classes, but instead of 50 classes and panels and all these things, we get 5 people. We pay them a ridiculous amount of money. We get the best of the best, somebody who really has a story to tell. And we shut down all the demos at that time and just say, hey, the only event right now is this class. You can go to it, or you can go take a nap, or eat some lunch. But we've got 5 speakers all weekend, that kind of event. So everything is really curated, but you're not spending any money on like food and beverage. You're making the tickets very cheap. You're taking money on the bar. You're taking money on the restaurant, and you're making your money solely on consumption. The hotel just wants to sell out their rooms, and so it's a low risk, high reward event, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
There's I forget which publication, maybe New York Times or one of these, but the headline was that in-person ticket sales for like, influencer creator shows or podcast tours or whatever are up 500% year over year. And it's something that we see with so many of the creators that we talk to. They're like, these super verticalized conferences are working really well. And for the creators that actually have something to sell, it's this crazy moment of, they're charging, thinking of one creator in particular, like $3,000 a pop, right? It's an enterprise creator, but they basically are throwing this like trade conference. The companies are paying for it. They're sending their people. They love this guy, and he's standing on stage selling his software. And it's this like, it's this amazing, and like, oh, by the way, he's also making money from like selling it through his YouTube channel. So it's like, it's just this really interesting revenue model and like fan engagement model that I think people are hungry for. So I support it. I think it's interesting.
Yeah, I think the one thing I've seen from doing this for 10 years and going to so many of these events is like the people that get into a hobby or a craft become so rabid in the kind of beginning part where they're trying to consume knowledge that they become almost obsessed with creators. And then creators don't feel like that. Like, I don't feel like I'm famous. I don't feel like I'm some big shot. And I walk around, I go to the grocery store, I'm not worried I'm going to get recognized, but then you throw me in a room of 700 woodworkers and it's like there's a line of people who want to take selfies with me and they get this great experience. We posted this video, Megan, which you saw, obviously. And there's so many comments of people who said, Jonathan, I remember 7 years ago you spoke at Workbench Con, and you took 10 minutes out of your day just to talk to me, and I felt like king of the world. It was the nicest thing. You seemed like the most genuine guy, and you create this opportunity to, like, for lack of a better term, touch your audience. And don't get any ideas, Jack. I'm a better curator of vibes. You know, the chance to touch your audience, it's like they never forget that, and that makes them, the lifetime value of them, like, so much more infinitely big.
Yeah, totally. And I think you just learn a lot, both on like your actual ability to convert and like what your real fandom is. When you're asking people to travel, there's friction, there's cost. One of the things that, obviously when we're looking at these creator investments, diligencing the fandom is like key. And so we're actually, Jack and I were joking, there's this creator we're chatting with, and he's not like, he's a unique one where he's not fully on social, but he's on like other platforms that are relevant to his community. And so we're literally having to go into spaces where his fans are and like just talk to them and like hold his picture up and like ask questions. And it's, there's all these interesting, funny methods to diligence creators. So.
Hey, I can't do that.
Yeah, we're not with the police. We actually just want to know if you've seen this person.
Exactly.
Do you know who this is?
Right.
Exactly.
If they don't, you ask 10 people, you get 10 no's. No.
Yeah.
You get at least 2 yeses. Easy yes.
Yeah.
And where were you July 10th at 3 p.m.?
Exactly. Jonathan, if you could give creators, established, aspiring, whatever, one piece of advice, and specifically creators who want to, go the entrepreneurial path, what would it be?
If you cannot delegate, you own a full-time job. Get people to help you grow your business. Because if you can't find ways to delegate the things that are not generating new business for you, you really just own a full-time job and you got nothing to sell. So I think that you really need to focus on what is something where if I need to take a week off, everything doesn't suffer because of it. And when you create that, and what I like to say is mailbox money, that's when you start to develop a business that really is the cornerstone of good entrepreneurship, is, something that has value to somebody else down the road. And that's what you should be focusing on, because if you're just making content and you may be very, very good at it, if you stop making content, that revenue would trickle out over the next 3 years. So find something of value that will allow you to sit in a rocking chair in your favorite place one day.
There you go. Jonathan, thank you so much for joining our live stream. Hopefully you can take a day or two off and, decompress from the week.
Whew, I hope so,
You're
but I'm still fine.
now.
Thank you so much. It's been a really fun week. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
you guys have one. Thanks, Jack.
Sweet.
All
Thanks,
right.
Jonathan.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye, Megan.
Bye.
Bye.
God, he's just the
Cool.
best.
Oh, that was actually my first time meeting him. Like I've not.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no.
It's so funny. Everyone who meets him has the same reaction. You know, obviously we did a bunch of press calls and whatever. And so many of getting off the call or whatever, the other person would text me or follow up and be like, he's amazing. You know, like he's so charismatic. I think, he's an amazing storyteller. Truly his level of obsession with what he does. You know, I was down in Santa Barbara, walking around his warehouse and showing me some of the new products or whatever. I'm like, the guy like lives and breathes this stuff in a way that is like truly remarkable. So he's great.
Yeah. No, I mean, I just appreciated getting dunked on with the
he knows a good dunk.
That was so good. That was so good.
Yeah, he's a good hang. So
cool.
Amazing.
Well, those are fun. We should make guest appearances a recurring thing. That's good.
So fun. I know. So fun.
All right, let's get into this direct to audience versus advertising revenue. So you would put a lot of thoughts in our show notes. What you got?
Well, yeah, that was just a copy and paste from our quarterly letter. So I don't know. We put like very brief, market commentary in our LP quarterly letter. And one of the things I was thinking about, and some headlines kind of inform this, but basically, obviously, you have Substack who raised $100 million in their Series C. You have Patreon, who I think crossed 10 billion in creator payouts.
Yep.
And then the third headline was kind of what I just mentioned with Jonathan, which is ticket sales for podcast tours and in-person events are up 500% year over year. And to me, it's just a testament of okay, much is made of influencer advert and, creator marketing and influencer marketing and whatever. And obviously that's a huge and growing piece of the pie, but the subtext of the shift of dollars, directly compensating creators through Patreon or paying for their newsletter or showing up in person to an event just seems to be growing. And I said, where the so what of it for us is that, obviously evaluating the health of a creator's business. So, God forbid advertising dollars dry up, are they still able to monetize in other ways? But then also being able to actually assess fandom they're both super important inputs for our diligence. And so it was more just of an interesting plot line.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the.
I do like how we're and this is going into another topic a little bit. I'm co-hosting this dinner with Yoni tonight called "Attention is the New Economic Substrate." Basically, it's like a mix of media people, entrepreneurs, marketing type of people that are just in the flow with culture of things. And Yoni sent them some homework beforehand on basically here's what he means by this. Attention is becoming a similar thing to money, power, infrastructure, all these other things that make the world move. Attention is down the middle of that. So how does that actually impact the flow of the economy? And one of the takes, I think Adam Faze put this in, was that live streaming is about to become the just the main form of everybody watching content, not just Gen Alpha, Gen Z. My first thought was we're literally just going full circle back to when everybody was watching the same live cable news thing, but also the in-person event thing. It's people that wait in line forever to go to any of the late night shows in New York, or be in the background of the Today Show, or college football game day on ESPN. This has kind of always been a thing where the people who really like the thing, or just even if it makes zero rational sense, will go out of their way to wake up at 4:00 in the morning to go be physically present at thing. It's just creators are now seen as more and more of the person of interest or the thing of interest to go put that effort in for. It's not a new thing. It's a new just people that are getting it.
But the thing about live streaming in-person events is it goes from content consumption as a very individual activity to what is now a communal one, right?
Yep.
So yesterday, perfect example, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, the Taylor Swift podcast went live, premiered on New Heights. And I think they had like, she's big into numerology, but like peak concurrent viewers was like 1.3 million or something. And it was like, we were all there and like waiting with bated breath for the moment that she announced. And it was like such a communal moment. I had like my group text going, the chat on the side of YouTube was like popping off. It was crazy. And it was one of these things. And I think like a lot of what we're seeing is obviously there's a tremendous amount of love for the creator, but I also think it's experiencing it with, your communal super fans, right? Like, I think that's so part of it. So I don't know. I think we're going to continue to see way more of these sorts of things, in all sorts of formats, but.
Cool. I think
also,
that's like,
can I say one more thing about the Taylor Swift thing, the podcast?
Yeah.
Everyone, if anyone is a Swiftie out there, you should go listen to this guy, Nathan Hubbard, who I started following him on Twitter for his Taylor analysis, and he's so good. He's like, anyway, he and his co-host, this girl, Nora, I forget her last name, but they did a podcast about the podcast and just like dissected the whole thing. It was fabulous. Like, it was so good. So if you're a true Swiftie, you definitely need to watch the 2-hour New Heights episode, but you also need to listen to the postmortem with Nathan Hubbard. And he made like the most incredible point, which is that Jason Kelce is like Oprah. He is a fabulous interviewer.
Yeah.
And basically Travis just sat there like a prop, like cradling her album and like throwing confetti and didn't really say anything of substance. But Jason Kelce, he's just like an amazing.
He's like one of the best people of all time from like everything you see about him. Like, he's just good at being alive. He's
hilarious. And he clearly like, talk about someone who's digitally native and just like so chronically online. Like, I think he is just constantly on Twitter, constantly on the internet. Like, I don't even want to know what his algorithm is like.
It's terrible.
But he's so funny. It was great.
One of my favorite like tweets I saw about the Taylor Swift album announcement was like, it showed that I think that like the max viewers were like 100 million, and somebody said, "Is this like peak viewing ever?" And somebody threw in a screenshot of the what was it, Trivia HQ Trivia or whatever, the thing that blew up in like 2016. So I was like, nope, Scott got 220 million concurrent views back in the day, so still the GOAT, but Taylor Swift is like closing the gap.
She reigns supreme once again. Crazy.
Cool. Well, I think that's all for today. As always, if you're a creator and you want to be the next Jonathan Katz-Moses, go to, what is our URL? Is it creator? Just email Megan at slow.co or Jack at slow.co, or go to creatorfund.co. Yep. And there's you can put your information in. It's actually how we found Jonathan. He went right through that. So
he applied. We get all the applicants real time.
Yep.
Try and respond real time. It's been a crazy week. I feel like between the Jonathan announcement, Taylor Swift's album, there's been a couple company launches of people in my life. Like, it's just been a crazy big week. So it's been fun.
Well, almost Friday. We're close.
Almost Friday. All right. See you.